Have you ever been stuck in a conversation about the weather and you're just like secretly screaming on the inside, wishing a trapdoor would open up and swallow you whole? Yeah, you're definitely not alone. So today, we're going to dig into the real psychological reason that small talk can feel so incredibly draining. And trust me, it's not what you think. Let's get right into it.
Really think about that for a second. That question up there, it's not just a figure of speech. For so many of us, it's a literal physical feeling. You can almost feel your internal battery draining as you have to talk about your weekend plans for the fifth time. It's so common. But why? What is actually going on there?
And this is where our brains usually go, right? We immediately jump to, ugh, I must be antisocial, or maybe I'm just shy or awkward, or maybe I'm just rude. It's such an easy and kind of negative label to just slap on ourselves. But what if that whole self-diagnosis is completely missing the point?
Bingo. This is the big reveal. Psychology tells us to stop blaming our personalities, This isn't some kind of social flaw that you have. It's actually all about your cognitive wiring. Your brain is essentially allergic to what it considers surface-level noise. And that one idea, it changes everything.
So first, let's just validate that feeling of complete and utter exhaustion. It's not just in your head. Well, it is in your head, but there's a specific scientific reason for what's happening during these kinds of shallow chats.
The key phrase here is surface level noise. See, your brain doesn't file small talk under meaningful communication. It actually processes it as just static. It's unengaging, it's repetitive, and let's be honest, it's boring. It doesn't give our brain that little hit of dopamine that it gets from new, interesting information. It's kind of like trying to run a supercomputer on a couple of AA batteries. The whole system just sputters out.
Which brings us to the biggest myth we really need to bust right now. This idea that hating small talk automatically means you're shy or you have bad social skills. It's time to peel back those old, worn-out labels and see what's really going on underneath. This really lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you have the myth, all those negative things we tell ourselves, shy, antisocial, rude. But the reality on the other side is so much more powerful and, frankly, more interesting. It's not about lacking social skills. It's about having other really powerful traits. A brain that craves stimulation, a mind that sees everything in complex systems, and a deep, fundamental need for authentic connection.
So, okay, why this intense craving for depth? What's actually happening on a cognitive level that makes small talk feel so flat? Well, it pretty much comes down to three key psychological drivers.
Yep, it all boils down to these three things: your need for stimulation, a preference for complex processing, and a strong orientation toward authenticity. Let's break down exactly what each of those means.
First up, cognitive stimulation. Think of your brain as a high-performance engine, like in a race car. It needs high-octane fuel to run properly. Complex ideas, new perspectives, meaningful info. Small talk, that's like putting cheap, low-grade gas in the tank. It just doesn't give the engine what it needs to really go, leaving it feeling stalled out, bored, and restless.
Second, we have complex processing. So if your mind naturally thinks in these big interconnected webs, always seeing the hidden layers and how everything connects to everything else, well, a simple one-track conversation feels incredibly restrictive. It's like trying to describe a beautiful, complex 3D sculpture, but you're only allowed to use a single straight line. It's not just limiting, it can feel totally suffocating.
And finally, the third piece of the puzzle, the need for authentic connection. Small talk so often feels like a performance, right? You're just reading your lines from some pre-written, generic script of polite but empty phrases. A brain that is wired for authenticity just instinctively rejects this. It's not looking for a script. It's craving a real, genuine exchange of energy and ideas between two people. Okay, so we've covered the why. We get the cognitive wiring that makes small talk feel like running a marathon. The big question now is, what do you do about it? How does knowing all this actually change how you handle social situations? This right here is the most important part. Your aversion to small talk isn't a bug in your system, it's a feature. It's part of your unique operating system, so embrace it. Your mental energy is a precious resource. Stop wasting it on conversations that just drain your battery. Give yourself permission to skip the script and seek out those deeper, more meaningful conversations that actually light you up and energize you. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. If small talk is just noise, what kind of conversation is music to your brain?
What topics, what questions, what kinds of people make you feel engaged, stimulated, and truly, genuinely alive? Because the answer to that, that's the key to finding your people and having the conversations you were actually made for.